Hello, and welcome to the December 2022 podcast. The last podcast for the year before we go into 2023. I tell you, who would have ever thought that sometime in the future, 2023, we'd be talking to you guys about CPR, first aid, and those kind of things in a podcast. Amazing what's taken place, not only in the last year, but looking forward to the 2023 year. Looks really good so far. And things are really working very well. As you know, we're in our new location, 625 Pulaski Highway, Joppa Town, or Joppa, depending which your map says, 21085. If you put in 625 Pulaski Highway and the zip code 21085, it'll pop right up. And we're in the center of that little strip mall that's sitting there. You can't miss it. We're well lettered down with our PPM on the windows, so you'll be able to find us easy. Okay, please feel free to stop in, have a cup of coffee, and take a look at the new place. A lot smaller than the old place, but we know what, we can make it work. Okay, first thing to talk about. We're still having a major problem with our instructor monitors with the AED. And we've talked about this in previous AED segments, and so I'm going to talk about it a little bit again in reference to the AED and how it's taught. Okay, this is a trainer. Most of you have this particular type trainer. But you might have other trainers that are similar to this. All AED trainers, the very first thing you do, which by the way is a test question, what's the first thing you do with the AED? And the answer is turn it on. Okay, because the AED will tell the student what to do and in what order to do it. Okay, where the problem is people are plugging it in before they turn it on. Now, AEDs are not smart creatures. AEDs are designed that when you turn it on, it knows to get ready, and it tells you to place the pads on the patient. When you plug it in, the AED thinks the pads are already on the patient, and it's ready to begin reading the rhythm. So, if the plug is in and you turn it on, the AED thinks the pads are on the patient, and it automatically starts analyzing the rhythm. And what we're seeing is the students have the pads in their hand, and the AED is analyzing the rhythm. So what do you think it's going to see here? It's going to say no shock advised because it can't read the rhythm. There's no rhythm to read. And by the time they get around to putting it on the patient, it's already said analyzed and no rhythm. Okay? So we've had several times when we're saying to the instructors, just turn it on. And they go, okay, and they plug it in and turn it on. It's like, no, no, no. Do not plug it in ahead of time. Just turn the AED on. Let the AED tell your student what to do. Okay, so hopefully I made that clear enough. The AED will automatically go into the next step if the plug is in there, so you don't want the plug in ahead of time. Okay, so hopefully we can put that to bed one last time. Hopefully. Okay, next little thing coming up. We're adding another segment to our store called membership. And what we found is there's actually an app to our Shopify store where we can track membership. So that means we don't have to send out invoices, we don't have to do this, that, and all the manpower, especially chasing people didn't get the invoice. So what we're going to do is set up a membership, just like a subscription, just like you do the Netflix and Amazon and all the other ones that you had subscriptions with. You're basically going to do that with us. Okay, now, don't do this ahead of time. We will tell you when to join the subscription, because as you pay for a whole year. The $50 doesn't change. You pay for the whole year for membership, and that helps us do what we do. So some of you have already paid for your year's membership. So until that comes due, say if you paid last August, you don't have to join the membership until this coming August. So we will notify you when it's time to join the membership. And then once you join, it will automatically renew you. Now at any point in time, you can drop out of the membership. Means you're leaving PPM, so you're welcome to do that. So that just like you do any other script or anything else, very easy to do, and it'll free up a lot of time for us of literally trying to make sure, did you get the invoice, how come you haven't paid the invoice, yada, yada, yada. So the bottom line is, just like all the other memberships and scripts, this will do it automatically. So, but again, remember, do not do this until we tell you to do it. Otherwise, why spend money that you don't have to spend? Okay, so wait for that. The other thing we're noticing is that a lot of you, your numbers are going down. You don't have a lot of folks. And we advised you to go ahead and join the AHA network. Now remember, in the past, we had problems with the network. It was really screwed up. They have finally fixed all the issues that we had with them about how the money's collected, how this is notified, how that's notified. And they've really come together and fixed all the problems that we had with them. So we had advised everybody in a past podcast that you need to go online to the AHA website and go ahead and set yourself up, put your classes in there, and that will go throughout the area, and you'll get people that will call you to sign up for a class. Now remember, when they call you to sign up for a class, make sure you get your payment before the class is due. Okay, make sure that they understand they need to pay you first. Do not set this up that they say they're going to come to a class, because if they haven't paid, they will probably not show up. And then you're going to be out the time and effort. So we found out the hard way many years ago that if they don't pay ahead of time, they don't show up. Okay, we get very few people that don't show up now. Very rare, but it does happen occasionally, that don't show up and have already paid for the class. So keep that in your little bonnet there, that make the student pay for the class ahead of time, so that way they will show up for your class. Okay. The other item that we do for you is we get a lot of times people will call for a CPR class, and they're not certainly in our area, they're well out of our area. And so we'll ask them what area is closest to them. Are they in the Bowie area? Are they in the whatever area in the state of Maryland? And then we'll find instructors that are in that area and reference those instructors, give them the list of instructors they can contact in that area so that they can book a class. Now we do that as part of our service to you, the instructor. But a lot of times these students, when they call, they don't even know who you are. Okay, we just had one literally today that called and said they had taken a class just last year, and they needed their card, and we said, well, who was your instructor? And they said, Mary. And we said, okay, we have over 500 instructors in our center. Could you be a little bit more descriptive? Mary what? Didn't know the last name, just Mary. Okay, do you know when you took the class? No idea when he took the class. Okay, what's your name? We run the card list under your name. And we did, and he had taken the course like 3 years ago, nothing recent. We said to him, you know, your card technically is expired, you took this a long time ago, and the instructor that's listed with you at that time is not Mary. And we gave him the name of that instructor. No, that wasn't it, it was definitely a Mary. We said to him, okay, see if you can find out what Mary's last name is or anything more about the class, and we'll look it up for you, but we don't know just from the name Mary who was your instructor. Okay? Now my feeling is that actually he had taken that probably 3+ years ago by what we could find. So he wasn't really current. It probably didn't even remember who the Mary was, if it even was a Mary. Okay, so we get these calls, and sometimes we're on the phone for 45 minutes trying to help them, and the reality is there's no way to help them. So remember to make sure that your student has your information. Write a note, give them a business card, give them a sticky thing. What we've done for our folks now is we give them a little pocket keychain that they have that has our information on it. They can look that back up as a reminder. We still have coffee mugs that we give our students from time to time to remember us, to call us back again in 2 years. So there are all kind of little hints you can do. There's all kind of little marketing tricks that you can do that they will remember you. And of course the other thing is to keep a list, and you can do this with the AHA again because you've issued the AHA card. You can go back in and look up the students that took your class, and you're going to find phone numbers and email addresses, and you can actually contact them and tell them it's time to renew, and do they want to book a class, or let them know when your next class is. So there's a lot of ways to try to keep these students coming back to you. It's all part of good service, actually, because they won't remember what date they took the class, but if you remind them, hey, listen, time for you to renew, and remember I taught you 2 years ago, and it's coming up next month, how about hopping in a class here? And people will do that. So it's good to build your classes that way. because we're noticing a lot of the numbers have gone down from our instructors. A lot of that is because of cold and flu season, obviously, but these folks still need their CPR, and you're missing the opportunity to get them back into the fold and get them recertified. Okay, so as always, that kind of wraps up our December. Hope everybody had a great Christmas. New Year's is literally right around the corner here, and I wish everybody a Happy New Year, and hopefully this coming year will be much better than the last, as we're still digging out from the crazy problems we had with the flu and everything else, and all the viruses, which, by the way, has not gone away. It's still coming back to haunt us from time to time. Everybody get your boosters. Keep yourself vaccinated up to speed. Doesn't mean you might not catch it, but it does mean it's probably not going to take you to the hospital and put you in the intensive care unit. Okay, so enough said about that. You know, I get on my soapbox about that. But bottom line is, like I said, hope you had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And next podcast will be in January 2023. Take care now, folks.